Kendall.
And I'm Kylie. Welcome to GTV.
Today we'll be talking about parking permits, marching band, and busing.
And we'll talk about your sports scores as well.
Let me show you right now before you give it up.
You may have noticed we have a new bus system this year. GCS Transportation was finding that it was difficult to fully staff the buses, so they offered up this new plan.
Mrs. DeMeyer says by switching to the new system, each bus is staffed and they have additional drivers that can sub for the regular drivers. They expect the buses to run closer to written times after Indiana and Plymouth open up again.
Students of GHS, if you need a parking permit, you can purchase one in the bookkeeper's office for $5. You need proof of insurance and your vehicle's information. The permits will need to be renewed every year. The school will begin checking for permits in your cars soon. The school also asks that you only park in the student-designated lots as seen in this picture. You should only park in the checked lots.
We're sure all of you have noticed that there are now barriers set up during lunch periods. This is to keep students out of the hallways during lunch. The administration wants to keep students in a safe, supervised place and give those of us in class a quiet environment to work. The barriers will most likely stay up all year.
Are you an orchestra? Well, if you are, you can join Jazz Strings and play some cool jazzy music. It's very interesting and a good way to learn how to sight read rhythms quickly. They meet for an hour every Wednesday morning starting at 7:15, and sometimes there's food included.
The Goshen Crimson Marching Band is hosting their annual invitational on Saturday, September 10th on Foreman Field. It begins at 3:30 p.m. and there will be 22 performances, with Goshen performing at the end at 10 p.m. Admission is $7. Come see our marching band perform parts 1 and 2 of their show, City Lights.
Lincoln and Emmanuel are here with your sports scores from last week.
Hey everyone, I'm Emmanuel.
And I'm Lincoln. The RedHawks have had a busy month already.
Boys soccer beat Northridge last week with a score of 4-3. Josh Cruz scored 3 goals and Oswaldo Zacarias scored 1. That win put them at 2-0 in the NLC.
Girls golf lost to Concord with a score of 202 to 196. Brisa Agua Delgado and Maya Narayan both got low scores of 47s. Sophia Garber dropped off strokes with a 52.
Boys tennis beat Warsaw with a score of 5-0. RedHawks extended their winning streak to 9 matches. Pi Wellington and Moses Sawatsky led the RedHawks at singles. They dropped only 5 games across 4 sets.
Boys and girls cross country both ran at the NLC round robin at Oxbow last week. The boys placed 3rd and the girls placed 5th. The first 2 finishers for the boys' game were Tommy Claxton, who led Goshen with his 3rd place finish, followed by Luis Loera in 5th. For the girls, Edith Loera was first finisher, placing 20th, followed by Caitlin Yoder-Roop in 28th.
Girls soccer lost against Warsaw with a score of 1-6. Kennedy Yordi was the only one to score with an assist from Andrea Diaz.
Unified Football split their games against Homestead and DeKalb. The RedHawks tied Homestead 30-30, but they dropped the second game against the defending state champs DeKalb by a score of 30-28. Caden Hodge, Colt Kalb, and Clay Kalb all had scores for the RedHawks.
In football, the RedHawks dropped their second game to the Prairie Cougars. RedHawks losing with a score of 33-14. Quinn Bechtel led the offense with 145 passing and 43 yards rushing. Drew Elliott rushed for 83 yards and a touchdown. Adam Ellison also added a rushing touchdown.
That is it for sports this week. Back to Kylie and Kendall with the rest of the news.
Right here.
Miss Narrett's science class is growing a garden to study plants' life cycle. Students planted lettuce and spinach. Right now the plants are in the grow room next to Life Skills classroom. The students are excited to see their hard work pay off and hope to keep the garden going. They would like to plant potatoes and/or carrots next.
There are lots of new faces here at GHS. One of them you might have seen already is the new librarian, Mrs. Ferner. Emmanuel went out to interview her.
All right, so how long have you been working as a librarian for?
So this is my first year as a librarian, but before this I was an English teacher for 6 years.
For 6 years?
Mm-hmm.
In which school?
I taught at Penn High School for 5 years, and then I was at Bremen High School for 1 year.
For 1 year?
Mm-hmm.
What made you choose to be a librarian?
I really love books, and I love working with kids and helping with research and being a resource to teachers, and I wanted to try something different, but I still really like being in education and working with kids, and so it's just sort of a different environment so far, but it's still good.
Do you have any plans to try and make kids read more?
I want to keep having a variety of displays, like some of the ones that are behind me, to try to encourage people to try something different or to just see what the library has to offer. Just making sure that everything in the library is super accessible and easy, and just letting people know what awesome resources we have here.
All right. Any other details you want to add?
Return your books to the library and be nice to books.
Speaking of library, you should definitely go check it out.
Cut the cameras.
Bye!
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now a moment of silence. Thank you.